U.S. and Saudi officials announced yesterday that the Trump administration has halted its in-flight refueling support for Saudi-led coalition aircraft engaged in Yemen. Saudi Arabia said in a statement that the United States assistance was no longer needed because of their own advancements in refueling. Defense Secretary James Mattis said in a statement that Saudi Arabia made the decision to stop using U.S. capabilities after consultations with the U.S. government. We are all focused on supporting resolution of the conflict led by UN Special Envoy Martin Griffiths. The U.S. and the coalition are planning to collaborate on building up legitimate Yemeni forces to defend the Yemeni people and secure their country's borders and contribute to counter al-Qaeda and Islamic State in Iraq and Syria efforts in Yemen and the region, Mattis said. The U.S. will also continue working with the coalition and Yemen to minimize civilian casualties and expand urgent humanitarian efforts throughout the country, he added. Saudi Arabia's 3-year war has come under increased scrutiny recently, with refueling among the most tangible and controversial aspects of U.S. support for the kingdom in the conflict. Lawmakers from both parties have pushed for the U.S. to suspend weapons sales to Riyadh and cut off refueling for the war, which monitoring groups say has resulted in the deaths of thousands of unarmed civilians. So this is a good thing. And, it still pisses me off that we had to have one journalist get so scrutinized, referring to Khashoggi, for anyone in the public sector, so these politicians for the most part, to start looking into what the Saudis were doing with our weapons and support and whatnot. And I love how the Saudi government tries to save face by going,
well, we don't need the U.S.'s help anymore because we've become advanced in the last 3 years.
Okay, yeah, sure. As far as Mattis and his claim that they're going to build up Yemeni forces to defend the civilians, maybe I doubt it, because these people have no resources. They're getting blown to pieces day after day, week after week. And I'm supposed to believe that the U.S. is going to come in there and give them the weapons and they'll be able to stand up against the Saudis who formerly were backed by the U.S. weapons. I'm supposed to believe that this group of 4 people who can't even, build up enough shelter to stop one of these airstrikes from killing loads and loads of them is going to be able to fight against the Saudis. So that is sketchy to me. Congress needs to pass a resolution to end our involvement there. And I'll mention the facts surrounding the story or the details relating to this once again. 3 years ago, Saudi Arabia's little friend government got usurped by the Houthi rebels, and so a butthurt Saudi Arabia started bombing the Yemen people. And we've had over 10,000 civilian casualties from airstrikes that were provided by the U.S. government. This is 3 times the number of people that were killed in 9/11. We've had 800,000 cases of cholera, this outbreak of that deadly disease. A fourth of the people who have that are children under the age of 5. So there's a lot of horrible things going on as it pertains to this story. And it seems as if we can't get enough people to subscribe to the idea that while Trump's administration can, have one person decide this or have him decide that, the only tangible way to get rid of the U.S.'s participation in that genocide is to pass a resolution in Congress to stop it. There was an effort by Bernie earlier in this year that got shafted by most Republicans and a number of Democrats. There was the House bill, the HR 138, which people still don't know about, or if they do know about, won't go and call their congressman over. It's a really terrible system because we were having millions of people on the brink of death for the next couple of months. And just because they happen to live in this poor part of the world, people are saying, "Screw you, we don't care. Oh well, go die. It doesn't matter to us." Um, and ultimately, it's going to come down to if the people who are in positions of power voluntarily make the decision to stop doing this, which I doubt they will do, or if the people who are constituents of the people in power rise in such large numbers that they persuade their congressman or their senator to switch their support to wanting to end the conflict, which again I don't think will happen. So really, it boils down to the only tangible way to get these people to change their opinions, the ones that are in Congress, as far as a proper way of doing it, is to just oust them from office. And this was what, when I was talking about the few Justice Democrats that were winning and that were actually able to get through, you have to understand something. They'll say, "Oh, we're screwed by money," and that's a very legitimate concern. But I believe in the candidates that are being ran in most instances, as far as this conflict is concerned. I don't believe a single one of them would vote to keep this going. The problem is they're getting in there at too small a number to save the people in this region. They only brought in two new ones this last election cycle. That's it. And obviously, there's concerns about money and getting covered by the media. It's not easy to do any of this. But what then becomes the solution? Do we, sit here and just sit on our hands for the next 2 years for more elections to come and more people to lose? Or do we rally around a candidate, have them announce 2 years in advance, and then have them go and just, try to appeal to the people in that particular community? Food for thought. And I want to say both parties are the same, but a majority of the people that have supported getting us out of there in recent years have been Democrats. You had Walter Jones, the Republican from North Carolina, the representative, who I've spoken about my admiration for in the past, but there are not enough of him to actively say this is a problem. Let's stop this. Let's finish it. And in not having that calming voice among a sea of individuals who at best don't care, and will support bombing just to keep getting U.S. dollars out of that region, it's problematic.